them, why is keeping the older one is the better interest for them. So it's always good to just kind of do a, analyze the situation, lay everything, review the existing coverage and all that before you moving forward to a replacement. So the proper replacement procedure, now that you have determined that this is the best interest for the client, then you can proceed with the approval process, getting my approval before you actually conduct by writing the new application. So I'll give you an example. In the past, I had some other agent with different district that they weren't completely sure with the approval process. And what they did is they already had the application written. It was still sitting on the e-agent. They haven't synced it yet, but then they asked for my approval. That already had bypassed it by getting the pre-approval, meaning you do not go and write the policy at any sort of time of the application yet, okay? So preview your comparative chart, submit the unsigned version. So you wouldn't have obtained your customer signature on the chart yet. So you would have to pre-fill it out. Regardless, you will need to use it later on or not. It's always good to be proactive and do your homework up front. So then you can get that pre-approval from myself. Once you obtain the pre-approval, you can then make any correction as needed and meet up with your client. And that's when you can set the appointment with your client for the replacement policy and have them have you fill out the chart for the new policy number and have them signed it. And then you can move forward of leaving a copy of the comparative chart, because it's always good for something for them to hold on to as a receipt with the policy holder, along with any other leave behind documents that you already now leave behind. And last but not least, send the PDF copy of the signed comparative chart to your SL to send it to me. Like I said, therefore I can put my signature, review it to ensure, now this is the best interest. And from time to time, I will call the client just to ensure this is something they're fully understand and aware of what they're replacing with, okay? And then you can submit the original copies to your SL, so then they can, put it in the leader manager package and send it to underwriting with the production. Now, one thing, it's a big bolded, and thank you, Dana, for making that big. So always, always, always inform your client that they are the one have to call head office at the customer service to cancel the existing coverage after the new policies or new replacement policy has been issued. Now on the comparative chart near the bottom, just right above where they have to sign, they actually have to initial it with the new form. It says it is up to them to cancel the existing coverage, and by signing the replacement form does not automatically cancel it for them. So in order for them to avoid paying double premium, in the past this had happened, so always encourage them to wait until the new one is issued, at the very least until they wait until premium is extracted from their account and everything's all good, before they go ahead and cancel, so they are not leaving the pickle that they're not insured at any given time during that gap, okay? So just like our founder, Mr. Stone, like I said, do the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Like I said, this is just good to have in your back pocket in case you come across a scenario. It is not encouraged, like I said, with replacement, but you just never know in the situation that it may come up that you will need to know what are the procedures that you will follow with a replacement. And just a recap. Is it the right thing to do when it comes to a replacement? Is it going to be a better interest for them going forward? And then you have to send in, like I said, the pre-filled comparative chart PDF to your SL to obtain the pre-approval. Follows for any correction you will make prior you meet with the client to obtain their signature and signed and completed the replacement form. And then you would just send the original and the PDF copy of the completed forms and submit the papers to head office. If you have any additional question in regards to replacement, go ahead and check with your sales leader. And if they're not able to answer, they'll definitely move it forward to myself. But I hope this little short amount of training with replacement was really helpful to you guys administratively, and what are the things you need to pay attention going forward. That being said, this is the dry side, I'm going to bring up some exciting good news. In addition to what Mark had shared with you guys, amongst many great things, first of all, I just wanted to say I'm very, very proud of having you guys as District 6, as one of the district that I look after. And I'm really, really great that you guys are one of the top seller across Canada. So give you guys a great round of applause. So it's been a very, very great journey since I have taken you guys over, and you guys also are one of my babies that I am more than happy to go above and beyond to help you guys, and I want you guys to keep driving for success and coming to finish at a strong quarter in Q4. So some exciting news I wanted to share with you guys is, the upfront, I had pulled it up over the weekend so it's a more accurate percentage, but you guys had initially with a 5.3 upfront cancellation, now at a current 1.4% upfront cancellation, when it's down to nothing. And to top it off with the second month persistency at a 95.4%, which is above the targeted persistency. And to top it off with 7-month persistency, you guys are at 82.8% 7-month persistency, which had meet above the target of a bonus requirement. So that's very exciting. And to top it off, I just wanted to show you guys some actual numbers and difference so you guys are aware where you are in the district and where it stands. So for the second cycle of 2019 for quarter in Q3, you guys' total submit APV for in Q3 was 433,261 APV, and we're now in Q4 so far, haven't completed the whole quarter yet. As of week 23, we are already at 471,791, which is another 9% increase compared to Q3. So good job, you guys. And with the increase with persistency and the drastic increase in APV, you guys have been really pushing and hitting the pavement. Like I said, even administratively, I'm very proud of what you guys are doing, and you guys definitely take quality business into heart and what you guys do. We've come to a strong finish, and we still have 3 weeks yet. So let's see, what the end had in store for us, and we have a great start to 2020. Thank you so much.
A huge round of applause. Fantastic. All right, guys. So obviously that's a huge accomplishment. So let's give yourselves another huge round of applause for all that great stuff, guys. It's a big reason why the company's looking at us and asking us for what we want to get done here and where we're going to go, is because a lot of our persistency and everything like that is on point with the company. So great job, everybody here again. So next up, guys, we're going to get up to the financial house again. And the reason why we're going to continue to do this, because over the Christmas holidays, people will ask you what you're doing, all that kind of stuff. It's a very, very good way of just bringing it up in a very soft way that you can move into a sizzle, because people need to self-realize where they're at, where they're going, and exactly what's happening. So with that, guys, we had Paige Guy to do it the 1 week. The next week after that, we had Mary, who did a great job. Let's give them both a huge round of applause. Mary did a great job on her birthday in front of everyone. And then also, we're going to get Theresa to come up here today. She's kind of the one that kind of programmed the whole thing right at the very beginning. So she kind of went through the whole slide. So she's going to run through a nice, very good, generic, quick one, guys. Again, when you sit down with somebody, it could take a little bit longer when you're in the full presentation, but you want to be able to do this at a very quick pace to the point, because again, you might think you're dropping knowledge on them, but they're checked out usually if it's after 2 to 3 minutes, right? So you got to be making sure you're trying to get this done as quickly as possible. So we're going to have Theresa Voltner come up to the front of the room here, and she's going to do the financial house. So great job. Let's give her a huge round of applause. Just got to switch over here. That's all right. All right, let's just give this to Theresa. Get plugged in.
Okay, thank you. We're just, we're missing a microphone here. So if anybody on Zoom has seen it, if you wouldn't mind just sending it over, we'd be really happy about that. Yeah, we need it back in order for us to share around the room. All right. First of all, you know what? I think Paige and Mary did an absolute phenomenal job of the house. So it's not that, you know, I do anything differently or whatever, but you know what? Sometimes when we hear things over and over again in a different way, it just resonates with us differently, and maybe we pick up new things. So that being said, I said, I didn't know how much more value I could add to what they did, but you get to hear it in a different voice, I suppose. So that being said, everybody's directed here by the mic. Sorry about that, guys. It just disappeared into thin air. Pretty good trick. Okay, so when people are asking you what you do, you can say, you know what, honestly, I want to share with you really quickly what it is that we do. But before I do that, I just really want to share with you the concept of what we do. And that's what this is what the house comes to. It's the concept to help them understand before you get into your sizzle, you would go through that. So basically, I would just draw out, actually, I just draw out the bottom. And when I get to there, I just say, honestly, moving forward, it's just like anything else in life. There are no different rules when it comes to here. If you were going to build a house, any kind of house, what would be the most important thing before you ever erect any walls, before you ever go up? What's the most important thing that you should have in place when you are building a home? And everybody will say it will be their foundation. And I say, absolutely. When it comes to building your financial home, your foundation would be your ability to produce an income. You can't go up from there if you don't have any money, no positive cash flow. There's no way we can continue to build this house. Would you agree? And they typically say yes. And I say, perfect. And then when you are putting your financial house in place, and when it comes to a home, you'd be building your walls, you'd be doing the rest of your structure. Here, part of that structure is going to be the support systems that you put in place. So of course, we're going to have insurance, mortgage insurance. There are many different types of mortgage insurance out there. Some goes directly to the bank and some goes into your pocket. And people will ask me, what do you mean some goes to the bank? And I can fill in what that might mean. So I just kind of give them a little education along the way. And quite often people go, what? It's kind of funny. And then I say, super, super important to have is your death insurance. I actually usually say, hey, do you have life insurance? They say, yes. I say, do you have death insurance? They go, huh? And I say, oh, you know, the stuff that pays out when you die? And they go, yeah, that's what I have. And I said, oh yeah, that's death insurance. What we do is life insurance. So I always tease them about that, and we have a good time with that. And I said, that's super important to put in place, because anything that you do here needs to remain intact for your loved ones as you continue to build your financial home. Now, just for the privilege to have a mortgage with a bank, you have to have home insurance. They will not even give you a mortgage if you don't have insurance, home insurance. So that covers the your contents, and that covers your home and whatever. Mandated by law. Can't get it, can't move forward, can't do anything without it. And in fact, more and more places nowadays, you can't even rent an apartment without renter's insurance. It's mandated. They want to make sure you have renter's insurance in place. That being said, we have car insurance. For the privilege to drive our car, which gets us back and forth to work, we pay for car insurance. So you have car insurance, great. Do you mind me asking what you pay for that on a monthly basis? I quite often hear 150 to 250. I've heard different amounts, and I just kind of write it off over here to the side. And I'll say, hey, do you know why you pay that much? They'll either say, yeah, I haven't had an accident in 2 years or 10 years, whatever, and that's why it's low. And if it's higher, they go, yeah, I have speeding tickets and I've been in car accidents and whatever. And I just get them to plant those seeds. And I say, that's awesome either way. And I say, wow, yep, that's why it is the way it is, right? You use it. This is whatever you know, your rates go up, because I want to be able to come back to those things later. And I said, and now that you've been so responsible and you've put all these things in place, what's the next thing you want to do when you're building this structure? They'll say, oh, I don't know, maybe I'll save. And I'll say, great, what do you save for? I typically hear trips, I'm saving for a mortgage, I'm saving for a ring for my girl, I'm saving for this, that, and everything. They'll come up to me and they'll say those things, and I'll say, great. That's awesome. Those are great things to save for. And at the end of the day, do you have a retirement date? Do you know when you'd like to do that? And quite often I hear a lot of people say to me, well, at this rate, I'm working till the day I die, or things like that, and so on and so forth. I hear it all over the place. And I'd say, well, so you understand how this structure works? And they say yes. And I say, that's perfect. In order for us to go from here to here to here, we needed to have all of the support systems in place. And they say yes. And I say, great. But there's one thing that's missing in here that's a little bit important to me, that I'm a little bit concerned about, is do you have any other insurances? Sometimes they'll say group, sometimes they'll say a couple of other things, and I'll say, perfect. Thank you for that. And I want to share with you, because the whole entire purpose is we want to make sure we have no gaps or spaces that are left in place. And that's what, when I share with you what we do in just a minute, this is why we do it. Would you agree most people nowadays are living paycheck to paycheck? Yes. So do you have in your savings, I know that you didn't list it, what you were saving for. You didn't say, in case everything goes awry, I lose my job, in case I get accident or sick or anything like that. But in there, would you happen to have 3 months to be able to help cover this? Because most of us can't live without one paycheck, let alone 3. They mostly say no. And I say, oh, so if you got sick or hurt, how long would you be able to have this flow? And they'd say, not a lot of time. Most of the time they say no. And I said, well, now what's starting to happen is your foundation is starting to weaken. And as this starts to weaken, what starts to happen? Well, you have all of these other things in place, and would you agree, if you have an accident or a sickness, that you might have more bills that might come in? And even though you're sick and you're not able to work and it's justifiable, well, everybody who's expecting to get paid, will they wait? And they say no. So I said, so where does it coming from? Oh, that ring from your girlfriend, the wedding you were planning for, the vacation that you had coming up, the house that you were hoping to get. That's terrible. So now we've increased our debt and everything else. And you're right, probably we will work to the day we die. So what we do, and I'm going to share with you really quickly in a sizzle in a moment, is we reinforce this. We reinforce your foundation. That's what Combine does. Everything I'm about to share with you is to make sure that your foundation never weakens, so your house never crumbles. That's what we're here for, and that's what I'm going to share with you in this quick little sizzle.
Boom, let's give her a huge round of applause. That was fantastic. Guys, so what we're going to do now is we're going to practice this, but guys, there's a lot of great things that she was doing there. Remember, the questions you're finding out here, especially with like the income, finding out how much they're spending on car insurance. Remember, you're having that so they know what they're paying about insurance. So now you know, so you can ask them these types of questions. But obviously, guys, it's a great way to self-realize for them that a lot of people don't even have this. So when they're looking here and you're like, I'm going to protect this, but they don't even have this, they really need this. So that's what you're constantly looking at for them to self-realize, and people like see in pictures, as Theresa always says. So guys, let's turn to your neighbor and let's just practice this again. Yet to be great, yet to be good, and good yet to be bad, and bad you had to start. So let's just start practices and go back and forth on each other for about 3 minutes each, and then we'll come back in a handful. So great job, Theresa. All right, turn to your neighbor, give him a high five, say thanks for the house.
Thanks for the help.
Yeah, fantastic, fantastic.
Hey guys, so the next part that I do, when I go to do the sizzle, I've got that amount that they pay for car insurance here. And I'm going to say, you know, it is so amazing of the value that you place on your car and other people around you should something happen. But I'm going to show you how you can use approximately about the same kind of money that you spend on your car to ensure all of this stays flowing. And, you know, so I know that's your car, but I'm going to show you how we can use around the same amount to be able to make sure that this still works. So I always have that go, and that's what I'll use in my sizzle, because now I also have an idea of how much I want to share with them in the sizzle as well. Okay.
Fantastic. Let's give Theresa another huge round of applause. Great job. And you guys know, constantly hearing the nuggets around the room to perfect it, right, guys? Because remember, this is something you can't just stumble into. This is something you want to practice, know the whole thing, and making sure you know how, when you're sitting down with somebody, how to transition from each place, right? You're talking about foundation and structure, insulation, and then obviously you're talking about retirement, which is the roof and whatnot. But you got to have a nice little flow with it and having a couple of things. I know, Anthony, what was the one line you just said? Real quickly.
I always tell my customers, I said, listen, if something happens to your car, can you find a way to get to work? And people will say, yeah, you can Uber, find a friend. But if something happens to you, what then? So what's more important? To cover our vehicles, make sure that we cover ourselves. It's vital that we cover and protect ourselves.
Awesome. Let's give him a huge round of applause there. So guys, just having these things in your house. That's why it's great to, turn to another person, listen to what they're doing. That's why we had Theresa, Mary, and Paige all to come up here and listen to, so we can hear different ways of getting in your own house. Because remember, you got to be very on point. Like I know I sat down, I can hear Theresa's and Dan's and Randy's. You can hear it's on point. It's a great energy and stuff like that. But the person beside you, you might just need to hear like, oh, okay, maybe I need to talk like that a little bit more. Just because you want to make sure you bring in the energy, right? You want to be like, so this is the history of insurance in your life, right? You want to make sure you're bringing something to it. Yeah, you guys love your life? Yeah, I love my life. All right, let's talk about that. Just having a little bit of fun with it because you can bring people on a journey instead of just boring them to death. All right, so a couple of quick things here, guys. As always, some extra little tips here before we get to the video is always, always, always compliment people. You guys have to go out there. We're in a networking business. So again, everybody in this company has no idea what we do. They'll constantly just say this, okay, but guys, when your warm market is done, then what do? We've been here for 4 years almost now, and we have people that have been here for 4 years, and I'm pretty sure they're done their warm market. Would they agree? Dan Swanson.
No, not true.
Not true, it's never done. Yeah. Warm market's always growing. Thank you, Dan. So let's give him a huge round of applause for that. But guys, this is what the company thinks of what we're doing, but you got to be constantly going out there and complimenting people, talking to people, making sure people like you, because again, when you go out to compliment people, and not in a flattery way, right? Not that way. But in a genuine compliment of just being like, oh, fantastic, you've been a mechanic for 20 years, that's fantastic, it's amazing. What do you love about it? That's a compliment, right? Oh, you're a father of 3, fantastic, that's amazing. Well, we know, what's your favorite part about being a father? Like, these are the types of things that you want to be, talking to people and compliment people about who they really are. Not sometimes like, you can get a nice little, oh yeah, I love your purse today, right? I love your purse, Anthony. Anthony's like, yeah, it's a Merce, get it right. But guys, you know what I mean? Like, it's Gucci, of course it's Gucci, right? It's stolen. Okay, but anyways, but it's a woman's purse. He's wearing a woman's purse. But guys, constantly going out there, making sure it's not flattery, but actual genuine compliments towards the person. All right, always compliment yourself. What does that mean? You guys got to, the biggest battle is just that mirror in the morning. Every single day. If you look at that mirror and you leave and you go out and you're not happy with yourself, it's a very, very tough day. The worst, it goes in the wrong direction. That's why a lot of people just can't really get up and face it. That's the biggest battle that we have as entrepreneurs, is making sure we look at ourselves and be like, I got to go get it done. So you got to make sure you compliment yourself. Like they talked about W. Clement Stone, but this guy used to walk into everywhere. And Tony will tell us in the future, he used to walk into a restaurant like a Cactus Club or a Joey's and just go like this, hello, everyone, right in the middle of the lounge. And everyone's like, Tony be like, oh my goodness, oh my goodness, oh my goodness. But within about half an hour, everybody in the place just loves him. And he's talking to people and he's just, shaking around because he had no fears. I feel happy, I feel healthy, I feel terrific. And this guy would just walk around being this because he had no fears or nothing like that. This guy, that's why he was worth, almost $1 billion in back in the 60s, guys. Like, this guy was an amazing man, but he had no fear, no care. Like, even in the book, we always see big businesses were my favorite because they're bigger. And there was no oh, I'm scared about going to presentations. No fear. And that's where you kind of want to get into your life. Remember, that's not now, but that's over many years of really starting to believe in yourself. So you have to always compliment yourself every single day. Be around positive people that are constantly complimenting you too, right? Because positive self-talk is massive. It's massive. All the top athletes, everything like that, they know they have to be the best. They have to talk about being the best. I don't know if you guys know what Zlatan Ibrahimovic is. Do you guys know who he is? Right? This guy is a soccer player. I think I maybe talked about him before. He's one of the top soccer players. He's getting a little bit older now, but he's one of the top soccer players in the world. And he used to go everywhere and just be like this. And he's not the best, but he's one of the top. And he'd just be like, every interview, everywhere he's going, he's like, I'm the greatest. I'm the world's best. I'm the best in the world. I'm the best in the world. And people are like, okay. He goes another interview, I'm the best in the world. What about this guy? I'm the best in the world. And then one interviewer was like, well, what about the two top players, or Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi? He's like, what about Cristiano Ronaldo and Messi? He's like, oh, those guys are out of this world. They're from another planet. But I'm the best in this world. The best in this world, right? And there's the cockiness of that, but he became that. Like, he's not the fastest, he wasn't really the strongest, but this guy believed in himself better than anybody and became one of the top soccer players. So again, half of it is just here, how good you are. We talked about this. We're going to watch the video with Conor McGregor today, but half of it's just mindset. How good are you, right? And he's just like, he believes he trains the best. People like in the industry, like, he doesn't train the best, but he believes he does. So he believes he can beat anybody because he'll outwork them. It's all here, right? So constantly doing that is here. And this last one, guys, I want to talk about it. Your obsessions become your possessions. So honestly, if you look at the people that are succeeding in this business, just in our district, you look at the people that are going out there, and we've got Sherry. Pretty much you can tell that she's on fire here. She's doing every week here. She's, she gets to go on a nice little trip with her mom, right? Her mom for the next little week here. But she's been pushing really, really hard, doing as many presentations, many sizzles as humanly possible, because this has become her obsession. She still goes to soccer practices. She's still coaching. She's still doing all different types of things. She's still with the family. But what is her number one focus? Her focus is going out here and building this, because this opportunity can provide for her family. Can go out there and do things, and there's trips and whatnot. But you have to be obsessed with this. And it's like, oh, Mark, you have to tell me I have to cut everything. No, you don't have to cut everything. Just cut the distractions out and start putting this, and it takes a bit of time. But you'll know who the top people in our business are. It's just because it's not have to be, it's almost over the top people in obsessions or possessions, but it's just like, it's what you think about becomes. So if you're not 100% succeeding, and it works for us and against us, guys. So if you're thinking about negative times and negative things and all different types of other businesses, and, oh, maybe I could try this, or maybe I need to do this, guess where your mind goes? It goes there. The top people in this business, the ones that have been here for years, and Dan's and Paige's and everybody like that, how long have they been doing it? This has become their number one focus. And sometimes it slides off. That's fine. It's happened to me. But this is the number one focus. And guess what happens in this business? It starts to arrive. But it'll test you for 3-4 weeks a month to see if you're really, really wanting to find out what this is. But look at Ginny. What is Ginny's lifestyle? 100% is this business and her family. There's nothing else really going on. She still does her stuff. She still stayed at the lake the whole year. Anne-Marie, she was 100% is out in the mountains, living and loving what she's doing, but she's also talking to people and signing people up. Your obsessions become your obsessions. So if you're knowing this business, you got to become the professional. You got to know how to do your house. You need to know how to do your sizzle. You got to be obsessed with being the best version of yourself here, and things will start to happen. So we're going to watch this video right afterwards, guys. But this is a big, big thing for us. It's like, you know exactly who the top people are, and if you can just go like this, okay, let me give this a go. Let me give this a go for the next month. And let me just make sure this is my number one focus. I don't have to go crazy, but just make this a number one focus that you're going to do something about it every single day and push forward with it. And once you start doing that, everything just starts lining up. People start calling you back. 6 months later, somebody will call you that you've already showed 6 months ago, because you're just starting to put the energy out there. And it's amazing. How is Ginny at 68 weeks? Because she's constantly thinking about it, and they come and initially it was at 6,600 APV. Let's give her another huge round of applause. Great job. So that's what the video is going to be on today, guys. It's just about, being the best version of yourself, and understanding that you have to see this, you have to believe it, you have to understand it. This has to be something you want to be the best. No one can ever be the best at anything if they're just half in it. Michael Jordan wasn't like, playing 3 different sports. He's playing this one sport, right? At the top people, Richard Branson, all the people in the world, they always focus on it. Warren Buffett just focuses on numbers and business. He doesn't go out there and pretend he can go do something else. He focuses on what his specialty is, right? So we've got to know that. So guys, it's in the group here, Push Play, and on Zoom, and Victoria, and in Calgary, and we'll come back in a handful. Enjoy this awesome little video. All right, let's give that a huge round of applause. All right, let's go into the R2A2 guys here. So the idea I got was what it means to me, and here's how I'll use it. So guys, just always, getting from a speaker today or from the video, the idea I got was what it means to me, here's how I'll use it, and my starting date is. So just take a quick 30 seconds to do that. All right. Turn to your neighbor, give him a high five, and say thank you for the R2A2.
Thank you for the R2A2.
Great job, everybody. Great job. So we'll just get a quick share from each of the little planet here today, guys. So if somebody wants to share from today with our R2A2 is really quick, a quick 20 seconds. So we'll stop here in Anthony in Edmonton.
Hola. So for me, it was what Connor said, man. Hard work does pay off and dreams do come true. So what that means obviously is just I have to continue to grind and just believe in what I'm working towards. And obviously I'm going to give myself a chance by continuing to hustle and staying focused starting today.
I love it. Let's give him a huge round of applause. Great job. Okay, let's go to Zoom or Victoria.
All right, I can go. So the idea I got was obsessions become your possessions. What it means to me is take a look at what I'm obsessed with, like what I'm focused on the most, how I'm going to use it. I'm going to choose those things wisely. Whatever's going to give the greatest return, if that makes any sense, and or return on investment. And when am I going to start? Now.
Fantastic. Give her a huge round of applause. Very good thinking there, guys. You want to make sure that you're like, okay, yeah, because you can really quickly find out what is this thing that you're obsessing about. If you're not getting success in here, it's something else. I promise you that. That's just, that's what translates. So great job, Dana. All right, let's get one from Victoria.
Hi, good morning, everybody. The idea I got was work hard and you can achieve great things. What it means to me is work hard after my goals and keep setting new ones. How I'll use it is when people take time off, just keep going, especially over Christmas here. And my start date is today.
Oh, fantastic, Janelle. Great job. Great attitude. All right, let's get one from Calgary.
Hi, it's Kathy. So the idea I got was become curiously fascinated with what I do. And what that means to me is I want to make this my primary focus and be really fascinated with when I'm meeting with people, how they're responding and how I'm responding to them and stuff like that. And how I'll use it is every single day, plan to make that day my best day. And my starting day is today.
Oh, fantastic, Kathy. Great job, Kathy. 100%. So let's give everybody a huge round of applause for all your shares today. All right. All right. So guys, obviously today is, you can make a little bit of a decision today to see if this is moved. But I mean, Kathy hits it right on the head. If you just become curious about this business, so again, if there's parts of your business that you don't know, you don't think about, you don't have, it doesn't show up. I mean, there's an obvious thing that why is Paige getting so many claims? Because she's spending a lot of time, helping the team out, getting the claims and all like that, and they start to come through, and almost every single one of them gets done properly. Why? Because it's what she's thinking about quite a bit, because it's what she's doing, right? So if you're like, oh, I never get any claims, it's because you might not know the process, and we kind of just leave it off. You might go, oh, maybe I'm not getting sales, but how good is your sizzle? How good is your presentation? Right? Because maybe he's got to be obsessed that I have to have the best one. Conor McGregor is not the best of all times because he's just like, I'm just going to go to the gym today. It's what did he do in the gym today? How did he believe in himself? You start working on yourself. Because as Anthony says, he's like, it's like we can get in the game, but it's like, how do I get obsessed with this? And because remember, it's all about the small wins. So when Sherry's going out there and she's having 16 presentations, because what happens, whether she gets a sale or not, it's like almost like as Mary calls it, a high. You just go there and you're like this, show the presentation, and you're just like, and they're like, oh yeah, maybe I need some time to think about it. You know what, that sounds great. I'll give you, you can't book this week? Okay, you know what I'll give you a call in about a month. Then you write their name down, and then you're off to the next one. Do you know anybody else that can go and help? Like it's your energy going to the next person, but it's just fun. Have fun with it. Just talk to people, show them the plan, show them the house, show them the sizzle, and get the best at it. Because the only way to do is it's not taught, it's caught. So you'll feel like, okay, maybe that wasn't good enough. And maybe we can add that thing. Oh, what did Anthony say the last day? I can add that, I can add this, I can do this, I continue to move forward, right? So it's constantly getting better at this game, but you've got to go out there and show it. That's the business. You should be like, my obsession is just to show this to people that this even exists, and you will get results. If that's what you have to kind of change your psyche for it, then you have to do that. So guys, it's Santa week next week. Money Tree Monday will be on again. So let's give that a huge round of applause for Combined. The lovely Paige Guy for that highlight. That's a fantastic highlight, guys, for any kids that are family plan like that one. Just showing a picture of that. It's a real person. It's not just a hired model. And it's Lee's son. So honestly, guys, this is a huge thing where families really that are in sports really would be like, that's done deal. Because they're like, wow, he got 4,200. That's for real. So let's give that a huge round of applause to Lee and Paige Guy. And then also Joycelynn for honestly being a professional, going above and beyond for us in every single which way. When we were just talking about the R2A2, she goes, my obsessions is my possessions. She's like, I'm just going to continue to focus on what my role is here, how I can get better at, how we can increase and get even our persistence even more. So let's give her a huge round of applause for that. Thank you for being in our corner. And also Theresa for the house. Honestly, that was fantastic job, guys. And also the little tidbits about the car premium, getting that number from them so that they know what they're paying for insurance is a really great tip. Let's give her a huge round of applause. That was fantastic. So make it around this business. You know, we heard from the video today, guys, it's about making whatever you're kind of doing, make it around this business. And it starts funny that you start to hear like claim stories, start hearing people, start seeing people get hurt. It's because you're starting to think about this business a lot. But if you're not thinking about this business a lot, you're thinking about something else. It's just super obvious. What I love about District 6 is that there's no hiding. You know, I said this a couple of times before, but like every day we can kind of trick ourselves. But every given Sunday, you get to find out if you lied to yourself or not. Because at the end of the day, if you're really working this and you're 100% on this, you will show the results. It doesn't, like, it just shows and shows and shows. It might take a few weeks, but it will show. If you're constantly thinking about this as your thing, it's amazing. So when, you know, we're talking about hard work does pay off, it does. We just sometimes don't find, we just don't never try. And be like, oh no, I try. I'm like, I don't know. Because sometimes it's like, if you actually give it all that you've got, you said that you're going to do this, you're going to be on the trip no matter what, the universe starts to open up. Remember Abigail, she heard that, she's like, is that even possible in 3 weeks? Remember when we did the last time Grand Diamond Jubilee? And then she heard Janelle did 19,500. She was like, or 18,500. She was like, that's possible? And then it's the only thing that you know, because then the universe opens up. I know Sherry's going for this trip and she's just like, is it possible? And next thing you know, she's 5,000, 6,000, 10,000, 6,000. Now it's starting to move forward because her energy is like, here's the goal. I'm saying I'm going to go do it and I'm going to do it. And then she ends up sitting right beside Tony Marconte and they're starting to go back and forth. And then the whole environment, she's like, we were talking about this, we were talking about that. It's the environment and then the energy that you put into something starts to start raising up. But if you're not there and you're going to take all this energy today and like, that was a great video, you go, and goes right to bed, it's going to be incredible because that's your obsession, right? And it's crazy because some people will leave here today. Even I said that. You'd be like, oh, he's right, but he didn't talk about my Cool Ranch chips I'm going to open up, right? You know, it's like, it's crazy because that's the biggest battle here. The battle's not about going out and showing this. Show somebody a financial house. They're going to be like this. I don't actually have any savings. Let me show you a solution. Done. If you go show that honestly 10 times a week, you will become probably making anywhere between 80 and 100 grand a year. The only difference is just sometimes for all the stuff that we've brought to, you know, in our past and somebody saying we're not good enough and all that kind of stuff, we bring it here and we just get defeated with it. The people that succeed here are the people that come here and realize they are worth it, their family's worth it, and everything's worth going out there and paying a little bit of a price for it. We get to have fun. We get to talk about people, you know, getting sick and injured, getting $4,200 for breaking a little finger, broke a little finger. Come on now. You guys shouldn't even got that. But at the end of the days, he broke a finger, gets paid, and now, you know, we get to share the story a little bit more. So here's Christmas, everybody, right? So, and the very last thing is just like, we're this close, and you are, and you can take this personally, maybe it's just somebody in the room or somebody on Zoom today, you're this close from greatness. Conor McGregor was just a regular fighter from Ireland. He's just a little wee guy. But he says, I'm going to be the best there is, and you're going to notice my name. And he just starts to believe. He didn't believe, like he believed day one, but it took all the times to go forward. It's the little wins, but he constantly showed up in the gym. You start to see results. It's the same thing here. Once you're showing this plan, you start to see results. You start getting better and better and better and better. You start knowing about more things. You start knowing about your replacements. You know about your claims. You start knowing about everything. Become obsessed with the profession here. And honestly, within 2 to 3 years, it will absolutely blow your mind how far you've become. Because I know Dan and myself have, you know, been here, and Dana's and Paige's, we've been here for many years, and Theresa, we've been here for many years now, and it's amazing what this company does, but what you have to put into it. So guys, honestly, let's have a lot of fun. Let's just go out there over the next few weeks here while the rest of the company sleeps. We're going to continue to keep pushing forward. Let's have another great big week here, guys. We're awesome, guys. Let's keep doing it. So because we're District 6 and? We're District 6 and? We're District 6 and? Turn your neighbor, give him a high five, say we got this. Great job, everybody. Thank you. Thank you, Victoria. Thank you, Calgary. Thank you,